What's up, guys? Happy Friday the 13th? Question mark. Scary. Maybe bad luck. Maybe crazy stuff happens tonight in the world of baseball. But hey, that was bound to happen anyway. 28 teams going at it on a big Friday night slate. So we're gonna take our first look at this one and hopefully come away with some picks before we dive into our favorite pitchers and hits and stacks to start out with. I'm going to go game by game here and briefly discuss what is on the docket. And we know later on today we're going to come back 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central and dive deep, game by game breakdown. The pitchers hopefully have some we have some confirmed lineups so we can make some more informed decisions. And if you guys want to join me live, you're more than welcome to jump in that chat, and it's a interactive game by game breakdown. We bounce back and forth. We're going to be using the RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet throughout the duration of this video. If you guys want access to that, it is a premium perk of having a subscription at RunDFS.com. So go to RunDFS.com, get yourself signed up. $20 right now, get you in for a week. Only a couple weeks left for the $20 week pass. Then when football comes back September 1, prices go back up to normal, right? We got the Reds playing the Phillies tonight. Tyler Mahle taking on Zach Wheeler. Phillies implied run total 5. The Reds just 3.6. Zach Wheeler's been pretty doggone good. Got to believe 10.3K. That's going to be an interesting spot for ownership. Will people be a little bit scared off due to the Reds' success as of late offensively, or do they think that's a little too cheap for a guy who might be making a late Cy Young bid? I'm definitely interested at that price point, but I'm just curious to see where the ownership falls. Pirates hosting the Brewers. Asterisk by this game. Potential rain concerns. Mitch Keller taking on Brett Anderson. I don't really think we need to be involved or interested in either pitcher. Brewers 5.4 implied run total, so you would be there on that offense. The Pirates 3.7. Potential rain here, so we come back later on, hopefully ear to the ground. We have some more informed information from the Department of Redundancy department about what we might expect weather-wise from that game. We also got the Braves at the Nats. Charlie Morton taking on Josiah Gray. Braves on a big swing from Ozzie Albies, took first place in the National League East. And I've been saying it, the Phillies, the Braves, the Mets, they're all playing really important baseball, even though we've got over 40 days left in the season. Every game counts, and this is a game for the Braves where you got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. So we'll see if they come out strong. Braves have an implied run total of 5. We got 4.2 implied run total on the Nats. We might talk about that one in just a little bit. That's what we call foreshadowing. Red Sox hosting the Orioles. Spencer Watkins taking on Nick Pivetta. Orioles 4.4 implied run total, and the Red Sox 6.7. We also got the Mets hosting the Dodgers. Julio Urias taking on Tyler Megill. Dodgers 4.7 implied run total. The Mets 3.9. We got the Marlins hosting the Cubs. Adbert Alzolay taking on Jesus Luzardo. Marlins with a 4 implied run total. The Cubs with just a 3.6 run total. I actually kind of like this game for pitching. It's going to be a pitcher-friendly Marlins Park, and Alzolay, hopefully, will see a pretty righty-heavy, because why can't I quit you? I love playing Alzolay against righty-heavy teams. He's one of the owners of some more drastic splits when it comes to lefties and righties. So if that Marlins lineup comes out pretty righty-heavy, I'm going to be in on him. Luzardo's another guy I think you can justify in big field tournaments at 6,700. Next game on the docket, Indians at the Tigers. Tyler Alexander. I think this might be a back-to-back start for him against the Indians. Zach Plesac, 8.8K for the Indians. Indians have a 4.9 implied run total. The Tigers, 4.7. Also, Rangers hosting the Athletics. Athletics making a run. Starling Marte, if you haven't seen what he's doing, he's got one of the most consistent game log stretches I've seen in DFS baseball in a long time. And today he's going to cost you 6,100. I was a guy we featured yesterday, and the Athletics were a stack we liked yesterday. And of course, the Athletics went all the way off. But Cole Irvin on the bump, taking on Dane Dunning. Until it wasn't funny anymore, like Dane Cook. 6,600 for Dunning, 8,200 for Irvin. I think both pitchers are somewhat viable. We expect the roof to be kind of closed here to neutralize the weather and become more of a pitcher's park. Cardinals at the Royals. Mike Minor hosting Jack Flaherty. Flaherty back in the saddle for the Cardinals. He's going to be a fun option, I think, at 8,300. If we can believe in a pitch count, we'll dig more into that later on this afternoon on the live stream. Royals have an implied run total of 4. The Cardinals, 4.6. Not a ton of runs projected there. Next game on the docket, Twins hosting the Rays. I'm coming home. Nelson Cruz back in Minnesota for the first time since being traded away. Shane McClanahan of McClanahan Auto Parts taking on Michael Pineda, former Yankee great. 7,800 for McClanahan, 5,900 for Michael Pineda. Yikes. Implied run total for the Rays, 5.1. Twins, 4. Angels hosting the Astros. Astros, one of the best road team in baseball, looking to bring it to Patrick Sandoval. He's 7,300 on DraftKings. Sandoval has exhibited a really, really high strikeout rate. He's going against one of the lowest strikeout team in baseball and the best road team in baseball. So a lot of not what you want. We'll see if the immovable object gets ran over by the unstoppable force. Zach Greinke pitching for the Astros here. Houston Astros have an implied run total of 5. Angels 4.1. Also on the docket, the Padres taking on the Diamondbacks. Blake Snell taking on Madison Bumgarner. 7,500 for Mad Bum, 8,400 for Blake Snell. Padres have an implied run total knocking on the door of 5. The D-backs 3.7. Then we got the Rockies at the Giants. Rockies' worst road team in baseball. Austin Gompa taking on Anthony Desclafani. Rockies implied run total 3.3. The Giants 4.8. And finally, the Blue Jays at the Mariners. Robbie Ray taking on Chris Flexen on his haters. Mariners implied run total of 3.7 and the Blue Jays 4.9. Looking through all that, I like a lot of pitching today. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a super high scoring slate. It doesn't feel like we're going to have a couple teams dropping 15 plus runs, but you never know. Friday night baseball gets a little freaky. So we're going to get into the first look portion, picks portion, where we talk about 2 pitchers, 3 hitters, and 2 stacks I want to keep an eye on. And then we'll circle back later this afternoon on the live stream, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Check out the link in the pinned comment below and set yourself a reminder. You don't want to miss that. Let's go to pitchers here. So Robbie Ray, I think that's the first pitcher I want to talk about. On DraftKings, if we pull up Ray's player card, he's 9,200. Hey, that I think leaves me a little bit of meat on the bone. I do think in this matchup particularly, he has the ability to knock on a door 30 DKP. Last couple games for him, we've seen 86 pitches, 109, 108. So I'm not too worried about the pitch count. Boston's a tougher matchup. Really strong 6 innings from him in 3 straight. So he also can be a strong FanDuel play, get you that quality start potentially, and maybe scoop up the win bonus as well. And then we know the strikeouts can be there for him. He has 30 fantasy point upside. So I do think at 9,200, there is some meat on the bone for him to be a super strong, high upside, perhaps one of the highest scorers on the slate this season. A 29% K rate to righties, a 34% K rate to lefties. And this Mariners lineup is going to come out pretty balanced with a couple of switchies in the midst. Look out for Mitch Haniger. Look out for Kyle Seager. But past that, I kind of like Robbie Ray's potential to be a top pitcher on the slate. And then next guy I want to talk about, let's save a little bit of salary. There's a couple guys in the 7Ks I do like, but I think Charlie Morton, what did he do to deserve a downgrade in price to 8,300? I feel like he's been pretty strong. I talked about how the Braves had a urgency to win. The NL East is wide open, and them taking first place, they're going to lean on their veteran top guys, their top pitchers. Charlie Morton hasn't allowed more than 3 hits in back-to-back games, including his most recent outing against these Nationals. 7 strikeouts in that game. He went 6 strong, just 85 pitches, but I know he can get to more than that. Maybe the plan is for him to not get to more than 6 innings anyway. But at 8,300, right? Like, why does he drop $1,100 in price from one start to the next start when he was really doggone solid? As a pitcher, he strikes out lefties more than he does righties, so hopefully that can potentially neutralize the menacing bats of Juan Soto and Josh Bell, who are clearly the most most problematic power bats in the Nats lineup. And then he can get through righties just fine. A 1-4 K rate against righties. Ground ball rate is extremely high, almost a 49% ground ball rate to righties, and the hard contact really doggone low. So I think 8,300 gives me a nice floor to ceiling ratio, decent risk reward on him. So give me some Charlie Morton. So to start off, I do like Robbie Ray. I do like Charlie Morton. And now let's talk about 3 hitters I'm digging. I ran all night and day. I couldn't get away. That was by a flock of Seegers. Courtney Seeger, right smack dab in the Dodgers lineup. He's facing Tyler Megill. Megill's got some pretty drastic splits. Against righties, he's shutting them down. But against lefties, a 5.39 xFIP, a 284 average allowed, and a 2.5 home run per night allowed. Courtney Seeger's been one of the most consistent hard contact barrel rate guys, and he could be right smack dab in this Dodgers lineup. And you just feel like 4,300 on DraftKings and 3K on FanDuel is not high enough to spook you away, and definitely not high enough to scare me away. So Courtney Seeger, somebody I'm going to be targeting quite a bit today, and one of the early bats I'm watching out for. Next up, we're all on the battle bus. Where are we dropping, boys? Misty Meadows. We're going up to Minnesota. How about Tampa Bay Rays potential cleanup hitter today, Austin Meadows. 3,800 on FanDuel, 4,500 on DraftKings. You want to talk about splits? He got him. And we're not talking about SpongeBob's pants, man. This guy, he doesn't do much against lefties, but he will bring the beef, the power against right-handed pitchers. This season, a 308 ISO against righties, a 148 WRC plus. I mean, in contrast to his splits against lefties, a .070 ISO and a 65 WRC plus. That means he's really good against righties, really bad against lefties. Well, luckily for him, he's going against a righty that struggles with lefties. This season, Michael Pineda, 17.8% K rate to lefties, 267 average allowed, and a 189 home run per nine. Definitely a potential ribby spot for him, batting behind the likes of Wander Franco, former Twin Nelson Cruz, and Brandon Lau batting leadoff too. I like the spot for Austin Meadows to pay off that salary, and he's another guy I'm looking for. And lastly, first, we're going to rock, then we're going to roll. X going to give it to you. Let's go to Fenway. The Boston Red Sox, they're looking to catch up after a series against the Rays that saw some incredible offense. They are fighting for first place back and forth with Tampa Bay, and they have to win the games that they are supposed to win, right? They're getting the Orioles here. Spencer Watkins coming to town up against Nick Pivetta. Xander Bogaerts, 3,600 on FanDuel, feels a little bit too cheap, and Xander Bogaerts there at 5,400. So we're kind of in a weird spot where I'm liking 2 shortstops off the rip, but on FanDuel, you could play 2 shortstops utilizing that util spot. So I am digging both Seeger and Bogaerts for FanDuel lineups. And I guess if I had to maybe flip that back a little bit for DraftKings, just so we have 3 positions to fill out, I would be looking at either Rafael Devers or JD Martinez. And the reason why I want to focus on the righties here, Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, Spencer Watkins, just a 12.3% K rate, 2 righties, a 277 average allowed, and a 159 home run per 9. JD Martinez the last 30 days has been top 10 in barrel hits, and I think it's a really strong spot for him. So if you're playing on a site that won't let you get Xander and Corey Seager, like DraftKings, I like JD Martinez, and I think JD Martinez in the Red Sox offense will be pretty popular, and that leads me to 2 stacks I'm digging. So we're going to keep it right here. The Red Sox, they have opened up as one of the highest run totals you'll see in non-Coors games all year. 6.7 implied run total. Spencer Watkins and the Orioles bullpen. That Orioles bullpen has been bad. Hashtag horrendous. And I think this Red Sox offense has shown you in the last couple of days they're here to play. They put up a couple touchdowns on the Tampa Bay Rays, who have a much better pitching staff than the Orioles here. So I do like top through bottom Red Sox here. I got to imagine they're going to be one of the more sought-after stacks, maybe a 28-team slate on the tray. Keeps their ownership lower than it would be, but I got to imagine an obscure number of 20% being the potential ownership for this team. because they're really not that expensive, right? Usually we see some teams with multiple guys over 6K. Red Sox only have 2 guys in the 5K range, well, 3 guys in the 5K range, nobody in the 6K range. So I think they're going to be pretty obtainable because I do think there are very justifiable plays in the pitching department between the 7 and 8K range, and then a couple of very viable punts that we will uncover on the stream later today at 3 p.m. And then we'll go back to the Austin Meadows team, the Tampa Bay Rays over there in Minnesota. Check this out. You want to see a fun stat here? We won't back up some stuff here. The Tampa Bay Rays, they are number 3 in all of baseball in WRC plus on the road. They like hitting in not Tropicana Field, and today they do get the benefit of Target Field up there in Minnesota. Not necessarily a giant home run park, but it can be a lot hotter and a lot more hitter friendly than Tropicana gets, and I think they're going to have a solid day at the park when it comes to swinging the bat. I mentioned it earlier, Brandon Lau, Nelson Cruz, Wander Franco, Austin Meadows, all can make my lineup any given day, but G-Man Choi's in the mix as well. He's pretty cheap on both sides. Randy Arozarena, Joey Wendell, all guys that can easily justify in this matchup, and I think the Rays are in a good spot to really put up some runs here against Michael Pineda. We want to focus on the lefties, especially the power lefties, but we're not going to leave out a guy like Nelson Cruz, and Cruz is somebody that if he hits a homer today, he'll probably get cheered as he rounds the bases. So that's where I'm at on this first look. I'm excited to really dig into this slate later today, create a player pool, because I think I'm going to make some fun lineups. Because I like a lot of these big slates lately. Pitching has not been that strong. Pre-flop where I just like, man, this is weird. But today I can get a little creative, right? There's some guys I think we can exploit their strengths and avoid their weaknesses. Guys like Adbert Alzolay might have a shot to be a strong option, and so on and so forth. So I'm excited to dig around. Let me know what you guys think in your first look here. Leave a comment below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the live stream later today or on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker. Man, I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money. Channel memberships are live. If you've got love for me, I got love for you. Earn your status as a baller, legend, or Hall of Famer, and get exclusive perks in this channel, like members-only video content, live streams, and rock those custom emojis and badges next to your name that you can flex in every comment section on this channel or in our live stream live chats. Memberships are the best way to show love for me, show love for the content, and make sure more content comes your way.